Oh, damn, guys, I totally had the chat turned off. Unfortunately, sorry. I had the mic muted though, cause me and my daughter were talking. So, but yeah, I had the chat wasn't turned on yet, so I didn't even know chat was coming in here. Let me get that turned back on here quickly. Windbush, I totally missed your comment there. He's probably not here anymore. But what up, bro? What's up? All right, let's get back to this. So like I'm behind on schedule, guys. Like needs to be done like tonight. So I'm just crash coursing through it, getting through it, like literally getting the bare necessities that I need to get the project finished. This is going to be for an ad, so I don't need everything inside to be done and pristine. I just need basically the car is going to be like in a shot like this, and then I'm going to put it on a different background, and then I'm going to put it on a advertisement, and then I'm going to take that advertisement and track it onto some real footage. So I'm just getting the bare necessities that I need to get this done. I think maybe the chat's working now. Notification turned off. Alrighty, there we go. That's working. Alright, let's get this car back together. See where we're at. I did want to make some changes on the glass here. Let's see, we got two pieces selected. What's going on there? I don't know what I changed. Settings is like the viewport's a little bit laggy. What's going on here? Hang on, let me try something that one of the members in the community recommended. Enabling viewport, real-time viewport. It takes a little minute to initiate once you first turn it on. Whenever it says waiting for image to, always just kind of let it do its thing. Don't kind of like add inputs in, because then sometimes typically you can crash it. So let's see. Give it a few seconds here. Huh. I wonder because oh, the denoiser shouldn't have to do anything with that. Huh. That doesn't seem to be working for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just. I don't know. I'll use it on the next project. Maybe because it's compiling all this the footage, uh, shaders in the background or something. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. All right. Let's get back to what I was trying to do here. Getting back to these windows here. I don't think I do have fake shadows turned on. That's good. I don't want that. That's not the one I want. This one. I'm just trying to give it like, car windshields have that little bit of a blue, just ever so slightly, that like little tint of blue in there. Trying to kind of get that going. Kind of something like that. What if we make it a little bit darker? Ooh, there we go. See what that looks like with the car. I think it might be a little bit too dark. After that, value, divide that by half. Oh, actually, times by half. I guess we could go with the tinted window look, huh? Times by 4. All right, cool. Let's see about putting this car back together. Let me see if I have enough to move on to. I don't have a choice. I have to move on because I want to make sure I get this finished. So, body. I had some stuff in here that was these two. This guy. Oops. Yeah, it is a little warm in my room today, so I think maybe GPU struggling a little bit. I don't know. You know why it's? I probably should have restarted it before I did the stream. Actually, I haven't restarted my computer since yesterday, so okay. This is kind of what I'm going for, anyways, as far as shot wise. Let's get a camera over here. All right, this is what we're going for, the ad here. I'm just trying to figure out this. I like this position better here. That one, actually, the windows are totally clear. I kind of like this angle though a little bit better than this side flat angle. A4 size in pixels. A3 size in pixels. What were the size of the old iconic Porsche magazine ads? What is the size of a typical magazine advertisement full page? It, what is a magazine full ad size in pixels? Full page. Do you have any suggestions of what lens they use, focal length they use on this Porsche ad? Try something around 120. I'll have to use a standard camera lens. See what this looks like. That does feel a little bit. That does feel a little bit better. Yeah, that does feel a little bit better. Let's see what this looks like. The render around. Yeah, thanks for that. I think I like the 100 better, or like the higher one, like you suggested. It does feel like it's closer though in this photo, huh? It feels like it's really close up on it. Here it feels like a little bit. Again, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. It looks closer to the reference. Yeah, it does look closer to the reference. Oh, this angle though, I can tell that the lens is compressing it a little bit. Like you can see how the back end looks like it's slightly compressed. So, but the front looks huge. That also kind of feels like to me that they could be also using. I like the 100. That feels a little bit better. It just feels like we're so far away from the image. Depth of field. Hang on first. Let's get that correct. I don't really care about depth of field in this one. Let's go like 25 just to get everything in focus. And then, you know what? Just for the sake of visually trying to get where I'm getting, let's come into. Uh, Where am I using? I'm using a different world setup. Okay, let's go to. Let's do this here quickly. Grab this, duplicate this. Oh, going a little too fast for it. Dude, my system is really laggy today. I don't know what's up. I needed to I should have restarted. I haven't restarted in a couple days, so things are a little bit wonky. Probably system probably needs a quick refresh and reshut down. Let's turn on background plate. Oh no, not on there. On here. And ooh, damn it, dude! I still need to. I'm gonna make an add-on that tells us when that camera is live, like some little red dot here that just lets you know that that camera is live. Because you know how many times I've done that where I've had a good camera position and then I didn't realize that the camera view thing was on, and it just ruined it. What I think I'll do is, for the sake of this, I'll get closer. Um, because I can always scale it in Photoshop because it's gonna be on the background, so it's gonna be so I can always scale it. All right. So depth of field. Let's get that cranked up nice and high. You need to see a little bit more of that back wheel. Set that to 30. I thought I had that set pretty high. All right. No, 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 no. Something like that. All right. And then what we do need is a ground plane for shadow catcher. What the hell's going on, dude? All right, this is gonna get unpinned right now. Jesus Louise, dude, what's going on here? All right, let's take this and add a shadow catcher to this. We just come here and just turn this to shadow catcher, shadow catcher. There we go. Man, I really need to restart. Well, I'm gonna restart. I gotta stop for lunch break, and then I'm gonna restart. Stop for lunch break, and then I gotta get come back and jump into the Photoshop portion of this. Okay, lighting. Let's get the lighting somewhat. Oh man, lighting definitely has a very studio light feel. This one's black and white, so it really doesn't help. All right. So as far as lighting, let's try to go. Let's try to change this up here. Yeah, let's go with maybe something like this. Okay. And why is everything so bright? A little bit hot. Do I have any lights in the scene? I shouldn't have any lights in the scene. No lights in the scene. Okay, so wow, the exposure is way off. Let's set this back to 1. Make sure we do not have any post-processing on. I don't want any of that right now. Let's actually turn on aces on this one here. Let me just All right, sorry guys. Had to go make my lunch, my pizza, put it in the oven. All right, so let's see if I can get a decent set of lighting here. Where's my reference again? Ooh, that was actually kind of close. What was that number? Around 215, 215. I'm liking 215 because we got this highlight here on the windshield, and that highlight is here on the windshield. Except we get a big highlight on here on the hood, and here we don't have that. But we have here, so 215. I like 215. Let's go 315. Ah, even better. Really close to this now. We got that big highlight on that side there, big highlight on that side. I need to put the license plate on there too. All right, I'm liking 315 better even. 315. Let's go 3 4 340. What about 330? 360. Oops. Nope. So far 315 is pretty good. Let's go 200. 150. 125. 100. 75. I might not use a white background, even though that's a classic Porsche that is that white background. Just want to get some contrast on that page when I bring it over though. This is feeling a little bit more contrasty. I'm liking 75. It's getting separation. 75, 25. I think I'll render two versions. I'll do 75. Yo, brother, how can you turn up your mic a little bit too low? Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah, that's actually me just speaking low. But yeah. So how's that? I'm just speaking low. I was subconsciously sub thoughts. All right. I think what I'm gonna do is I like 75. Let me write these numbers down. I like 75, so we're gonna do 75. I'll do one render at 75, and I'll do another render at 250. Was it 215 or two? I actually like 215. I like 215, but I'm losing a little separation right here. It's blending in a little bit too much with the background. 220. 230. Oh, I think the other one was 315. Why is it 315? Yeah, 315 is really close to the ad, but we just right here we lose it. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I just lose complete. 315. How about 320? 325. I might be able to do some Photoshop work just to get that edge to pop there. But I like this because we're getting this silhouette here in the background. And look at this, we're getting that silhouette here in the background too. I really like that. I actually really wish I can, hang on, let me make sure the camera is not active. Because I'm going to be really annoyed if it is. Okay, good, it's not active. And let's quickly turn that background off for a second. What I want to do is, can I remove this license plate thing here? Can we just take this off? Let's say hide. Yeah, we can. And then hide it in the render also. But I think there was a second piece that I hid that's going to show up in the render. There was one more piece that I hid before that, I think, which is like a glass cover or some plastic cover that goes over the license plate, which might end up showing back. Oh, there it is, right here. See? Yeah, take this one and this one. Man, I really need to restart my computer. All right. See what that looks like. Looks a little bit better. Because in a real ad, they wouldn't have that license plate on there like that anyway. So the only thing I don't like is this right here is hitting really hard. Okay, so 325 was another number that's a good 325, 350. I really like 325. We're getting some good contrast and some good interesting stuff happening on the windows. See here, this doesn't look like the windows, just look like blah. I don't like that. 315. 315 is a little bit hot, but maybe we can. Let's see what happens if I come to my highlight compression. Oh, it's already almost pretty much cranked up. All right, let's turn off aces and see what this looks like without aces. Oh, actually, I do have some. This needs to be turned back to default sRGB. I have some LUTs that I was using because of the making my thumbnails for the YouTube video for the streams. All right, so that's back to default. Actually, that's not too bad. What happens if I bring the exposure down, let's say like to 75? Oh, actually I mean 0.75. Actually, that feels a little bit better. I can probably pump that up a little bit in post. Let me quickly save this really quickly. And this will ultimately be, the background will be, we won't be exporting out this background like this. So for example, I'll come in here and mute that. It'll be on a full transparent background. But I do want these shadows from this shadow catcher. And let's quickly get those passes set up for that. Come in here, turn on render layer passes. And this is going to be background. It's going to be transparent. Turn that on, alpha channel. Okay. And there's our background layer. So there is our shadow catcher on the bottom there. So that should show up in our render layers. I already have this everything set up because of this file. Here is our file that we give away in our community, our free startup file, which already has all the composite passes set up and ready to go. As you can see down here, all that stuff is ready to go. Also, starting tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be doing a 7-day opening up of the Blender Octane Skool scholarship, where I'm going to give one member a free year subscription to the community worth about $300. We're going to be having the entry form for that going live tomorrow. And yeah, so it'll be on. I'll be posting that everywhere. I'll be making 7 days announcements, and on the seventh day, I will announce the winner based on it's like 3 questions you have to answer, simple questions, and then based on the answers, we will choose one person to get the free scholarship to the Blender Octane School community. One free year subscription worth about $300. All right, enough of that shameless plug. Let's go ahead and do a test render on this. Hi, thank you. That is my call for lunchtime, but let's go ahead and render this. I'm going to leave the stream up, guys, and I'm just going to come back after lunch, after about eating. Actually, no, I'm going to shut it down because I need to restart, and then I'm going to restream again because I'm going to go back to Photoshop. I'm going to stream the whole day until this is finished, tracking and everything, until this whole project is due today or like tonight. I have to finish this by tonight. So after this, I'm going to take it into Photoshop, make the ad. After I make the ad, I'm going to export the ad as an image, and then I'm going to find my footage, which I shot. The one I kind of shot at the train station yesterday, and then I'm going to track the advertisement onto the billboard or onto the sign. And I got to get that all finished today. So I'm going to be streaming all day long today. Let's go ahead and quickly go to my settings, render preset. I'm going to go to high sample setup. And that does this here kind of quickly. Changes a bunch of settings for me just to quickly get into that ballpark range. And let's see what this looks like. It's actually taking quite a bit to load up all that stuff. Oh, already don't like it. We shouldn't be seeing this. Black layer shadows. Yeah, we should be just seeing black layer shadows there. Layer shadows. Up, and we're still seeing that, so there's something else that we missed. Why are we still seeing that? Plate. This one probably right here. This ground plane here. Actually, I'm just going to delete this and add a shadow catcher material. Shadow catcher material. And quickly, did I set it up? I thought I set it up. Alright, so we're on this plane. This plane I want to have render layer ID 2. There it goes. Now it should be probably working. Let's go back to the main layer. Right, normal active layer. Layer ID. There's layer ID 2. So actually we can go back to layer ID 1. And now it should be working. Let's go ahead and save that one more time. feels like there might be some one of. I think I missed the material back here. It feels like it. I might have missed the material back there. Compared to the way this one looks, it looks like there might be another material back there. I hate that. I just don't. It bugs me the fact that the car is so clean, but in a real Porsche, they would want the car to be super clean like this. Like, right? So I just like grunging stuff up. All right, that's finished, and it did not get our transparency. Why didn't it? Let's see here. There's our shadow layer. Or maybe it did get our transparency. Let me just save a copy as PNG. Oops, I actually saved the wrong one. Yeah, I don't think we exported out our alpha. Nope, I didn't export the alpha. See, this wasn't checked, so that now needs to be checked. So, all right, I gotta go eat, guys. So I'm gonna export this out, let this render quickly, and I'll be back here after lunch in about another hour. I'll be back. All right, see you soon.